You do not learn to walk by following the rules, but by doing it. This is exactly the principle you're going to apply in learning English. Hello, everyone. I'm Shilpa Srinivas, your friendly English coach, mentor, and guide. I'm also the founder of Self Academy, where we train people on spoken English and personality development programs to achieve success in every walk of life. It's been quite some time since I've come on my channel to share a few tips and techniques about breaking the barriers of learning English. And many people have been requesting me to do so. So in this particular video, I'm going to share three fundamental principles on learning the language English faster. Are you all geared up for it? Come on, pick up your notepad and start making notes because you have to retain what you have learned, and brain can retain the information once you write it. Go for it, my friends. The very first principle is very simple. You have to break your mental blocks. What are the mental blocks? English is tough. I'm so scared to speak because I make mistakes and people might laugh at it, right? This is one of the biggest barrier which almost everyone faces. So how are we going to break that? Let me share an inspirational story with all of you. It's called the 4-minute mile story. In 1965, Roger Bannister, he ran a mile in less than 4 minutes. He completed 1 mile in 3 minutes and 59 seconds. This was believed to be humanly impossible till then, and people were so surprised and inspired when he broke all records. But the beauty of the story lies in the last part. Now that people had understood that something which was impossible was achieved, just after 6 weeks after Roger broke the record, a man named Landy from Australia broke Roger's record. He ran 1 complete mile in just 3 minutes and 58 seconds. He took a second lesser than Roger and broke his record. Now, what does this goes to prove? That the mental blocks or barriers which we have, that no, this is not possible by me, no, this is not achievable. But when somebody else shows that this is possible, we will have that inspiration to break it. We will have that positive motivation to do it. So, how can you apply it to learning English? When you look around in your own family or among your friends or colleagues, many of them are able to speak English effortlessly, fluently, right? All you have to do is look at them and think, if they can do it, so can you, right? English is not tough. It is one of the easiest language to learn. It's got very few alphabets, all of 26. It's easy to learn. When so many people around you can do it, so can you. So break that mental model. And what is the next step? You just have to model people around you. And how are you going to do it? Most of the communication happens through body language, right? The movements of your body. When people talk to you in English, you have to observe their body language and comprehend it holistically. You just have to get the idea or the message in its entirety, though you do not understand particular words. It's okay if you don't pick up on words, if you don't understand the meaning of the words. But it's enough if you can get the message, because you acquire the language skills unconsciously when you start doing it. You got my point? So you just have to model people around you who can speak in English by getting their message holistically, even if you cannot understand particular words. So the first principle, a recap on that, is break your mental barriers that English is tough. If people around you can speak, so can you. And model them exactly by comprehending the message through their body language and not through particular exact words. Right? All right, now that you're making notes, let's move to principle number two. This is very easy to adopt, my friends. English learning is a physiological process like any other sport. Just imagine if you're practicing cricket or tennis or badminton, you will have to move your body, stretch your muscles, and that is when you will get it right. In the same way, when you have to practice English speaking, you have to move the muscles of your mouth. Your face roughly has 43 muscles. So when you practice by stretching those muscles, when you move those muscles, you get an idea of how to pronounce the words. You hear to the sounds of the words. That is what is most important in speaking the language English. It's not enough if you just practice in your head. Okay, there are few conversations which you keep practicing in your head, but when you actually want to speak, they don't come out in the right way. Why does this happen? Because you haven't practiced, you haven't moved your mouth, you haven't stretched your muscles. Okay, so remember principle number two, English learning is a physiological process. You have to move the muscles of your mouth to get it right. Okay, moving on to principle number three, very effective, very simple. English learning is also a psychological process. And what do I mean when I say this? You cannot learn English if you're angry, sad, depressed, or upset. You can learn English only when you are in the alpha state of mind. You're happy and cheerful. You're ready to receive things. And when does that happen? When you're focusing on what you can get. Most of the times you keep thinking on what you cannot understand. You listen to English conversations or you listen to English speakers, you watch a movie or news or documentary, and then you begin to think, I'm not able to understand. I'm not able to get what they're telling me. But rather than doing so, you can start focusing on how much are you able to get, how much of it you're able to understand. So when you focus on how much you're able to get, your mind is in a calm state, in an unprovoked state, and your progress is better and faster. So always focus on how much you can understand, whatever you are listening to or reading or speaking. If somebody else is speaking to you, how much of what they are speaking are you able to understand? So focus on that rather than telling yourself all the time, I'm not able to understand, I'm not able to understand. It's not that you're not able to understand completely. Some parts of it you're not able to, but do not focus on that. You will get it naturally in the process. It will evolve. You will get it. Focus on what you can comprehend, what you can understand. Okay, so that your mind is happy and cheerful and you can learn the language English in a faster way. Got it? So, just to rewind all the three principles, the first one, remove your mental blocks and model people around you who can speak English fluently. Principle number two, English is a physiological process, so move your muscles, move your mouth to practice it. Do not just practice it in your head. Principle number three, it's a psychological process, so learn it when you're happy and cheerful so that you get your results fast. I'm so happy sharing my learning